Minions and Monsters is the latest Illumination film, so today, let's see if it's worth your time. This is the rambunctious, ridiculous, and totally true story of how the Minions conquered Hollywood, became movie stars, lost everything, unleashed monsters into the world, and then banded together to try and save the planet from the mayhem they had just created. While you're watching this video, comment down below with your thoughts on Minions and Monsters. Years ago, I was never really into the Minions, and now some of the films have gotten a little bit better. I really liked Rise of Gru. I was looking forward to Minions and Monsters. Starting off with what worked, I loved all of the references and the setting of old Hollywood and the Minions wanting to make movies. You have references from like Charlie Chaplin and George Lucas in here. So many cool things about imagination and the love for cinema. We have a couple Minions that want to make movies and they draw stories and they want to be involved in Hollywood and they become stars and they want to make their own film and they conjure up monsters to be in their movie, and then there's so much mayhem that goes with that. I love that this movie was able to fully balance the chaos when it comes to the Minions, giving the kids enough of that chaotic energy and that fun that comes with the Minions. You're gonna have your typical style of comedy when it comes to the Minions, but then on the other hand, it's able to tell a really good story about going after your dreams, and there's a lot of emotion to that when the characters, these Minions, want to make their movie. The movie does such a fine job of balancing everything from that silly comedy to a really good story that's endearing for these characters and watching them go after their dreams. And all the other Minions that want to find a villain have three of them that want to go make a movie instead. When you have the Minions that are doing very chaotic things, it's hard to tell a good story. And I think that this movie did a great job of giving us a really interesting story that has a unique perspective on Hollywood and a lot to say about movies and how they are made. It's cool to see how the Minions were implemented into the movies and their drive to make films. And you have a pretty solid voice cast in here with Allison Janney, Trey Parker, Christoph Waltz, Jeff Bridges, Jesse Eisenberg. But Trey Parker returns as Gumi, this Cthulhu type character that's very adorable, but wants to unleash his own monsters into the world. That being an hour and 30 minutes, it is able to pack in a lot of those references and the dedication to making movies in the beginning of the film, and then transitioning into this mayhem monster movie, which was all out and a lot of fun. But the Minions are so likable in here, and them wanting to serve villains, there's a softer side to them in this movie of going after their dreams, and you see them drawing out storyboards and creating movie posters and filming and being movie stars. It's a perfect way to understand the love of movies, but in a more childlike way. Now, not everything worked. I did think that there was a little less of the monsters than I expected. It mostly came towards the end of the film. I really liked the setup of this movie and then wanting to find a villain and understanding the movies and the Minions and their place in Hollywood. That was a lot of fun and a really good story. But Minions and Monsters, the title of it, I expected a little more of the monsters because Trey Parker's really good as this monster and him bringing in other monsters into the world. I expected more of that mayhem, expected more of those monsters involved into the movie, but it worked, but it was all very brief. And there's other storylines involving this futuristic robot voiced by Jesse Eisenberg and a love story involving him, and then the Minions wanting to serve that villain. That storyline felt really underdeveloped. Like, I thought it was pretty cool and really interesting, and seeing the other Minions do their job, but that storyline felt like it was just thrown into the movie and then brought back multiple times throughout the movie. The ideas were all there for the characters, Dort, this futuristic alien robot, and them serving the villain, and then the monsters and the Hollywood tropes Those are all really good ideas, but for it being a very brief movie, I don't think a lot of those storylines felt developed enough to make me really fully care about them all. And it just moved at a very quick pace to it. I think the movie could have benefited from maybe 10, 15 more minutes to add more to the mayhem or storyline for Dort and a better understanding of some of these characters. Overall, my final thoughts: visually, it's a good movie. A lot of the grand sequences with the monsters do pop and offer up a lot of bright, colorful sequences, and I loved all of the Hollywood references in the beginning, the tropes of Hollywood. It's all played out very nicely into the film, and the Minions are so likable in this movie. I just really cared about their passion for making movies and their involvement in Hollywood. I think some storylines felt a little bit underdeveloped at times and could have benefited from more of a longer runtime, but nonetheless, I do think this was a really exciting Minions movie, definitely better than some of the other Despicable Me movies and the very first Minions movie that we got. I'm gonna go ahead and give Minions and Monsters a B. Thank you guys for watching my review for Minions and Monsters, the latest Illumination film. Have you guys seen it by chance? What do you think about it? Let me know in the comment section down below, and stay tuned for more up and coming content like this. My name is Justin Watches Movies, and you guys stay classy, YouTube.